salutations, humans. This is Froggy and Friends, and we are playing Tales of Frin. Last time, we were introduced to Rafnabu, Seen, and Jorvig, which will be joining us when he is able to. We were introduced to them. They heard a big crash, booming sound, and they all rushed to handle the situation, which was a big hole in the ceiling. They were accosted by some smoke and steam methods, a single air genasi that they saw. They saw a strange apparati escape that was chased by the other ships. They took care of the methods and the genasi as he jumped, and he missed the hanging rope ladder. He went down to his doom. And Rafnabu decided to carry his carcass inside of the arena. As you were watching, everyone kind of it was just kind of mayhem in there because a lot of the patrons saw an opportunity to possibly steal from the different betting desks and things like that. So you are deciding all of you have this information in your head, okay? The arena has different names, one per the 7 owners, because they couldn't decide on it. They're called the 7. There are smaller investors, but these are those that have led the arena to date. Smaller ones hold stock in one or more of the arenas or a stall, or a Clockwork Horror specifically, or they have invested interest to a certain fighter. One such smaller investor is Rachel's Slaughterhouse, which is literally a slaughterhouse just down the street that has invested interests in this. Now, I will list out the 7 and what they look like, and who they kind of work for, or what interests they're going after. You have Luna. She's a Druagar with lavender hair and loose braids with short sideburns. She's an ambassador of the Craighold clan. Vogheth, Stone's Throw, representing interests from Iron Maw, which is on a continent across the sea. Gakken, with the title The Tooth Fairy. Known for collecting teeth she's knocked out in her earlier fighting career and later as an enforcer. She's a beefy, ancient dwarf with molten metal hair and glowing eyes. She represents an unknown organization. Dundeem Mifferlin. He's a deep gnome with forearms like Popeye. He's representing the Order of the Fine Parchment Enthusiasts. Garrick Deepburrow is a gnome, representative of the tinkerers that tinker on things that need tinkering. Pover is a Goliath. He's of a very slender build and dressed to the T always. And he always is looking through his manacle. Representing interests of the Coal Coalition. Then there is Garethar Onathir. She's a dark elf with long white hair and a high ponytail usually, extremely long ears and many piercings, along with tattoos. She towers over most, being 6'10" and very muscular. You can mistake her for Goliath if it were not for her ears and her glowing purple eyes, representing Down Under and its interests. Down Under is a shop associated with uh, the Drow from the Underdark. So those are the seven um, that are usually there. So what of those of Rafnabu would you think that you'd be associated with, or would you, as Rafnabu, prefer to be a part of a smaller stall? And I could, yeah.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's the 7, right? But you labeled 8.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. That. I hate it. But it's gonna love it. It's gonna love it. Oh my god. Okay.
I was waiting to see if someone caught it.
Okay, so ref being mercenary, like a veteran.
The veteran fighter.
Is this a veteran mercenary?
Which one? Because you're doing the your audio is echoing.
Was it because shaking? Or is just my audio bad?
I think it's just bad.
Okay.
So which name did you want to know more about?
Tell me more about Iron Maw.
Vogue hath stone's throw. He is a mountain dwarf. So Iron Maw is a dwarven stronghold in the southern part of Waltova, which is a continent directly due west over the ocean. So like they're like a foreign interest here.
Okay.
Yep. I want to print out one of these like big,
Oh, okay.
just so I
The Tooth Fairy.
can. The Tooth Fairy.
With the unknown affiliation.
Okay. Gakken, the Tooth
Yeah.
Fairy, known for collecting teeth she's knocked out in her earlier fighting career and later as an enforcer. She is a beefy ancient dwarf. Now, ancient dwarves, there are different lineages. One, their hair is molten metal, and that's what hers is. And her eyes are glowing, like from heat. And then there's another type of ancient dwarf that their hair is actually like a crystal, like a crystalline hair.
Okay.
And hers is a molten metal. So you'd be interested in being a part of that, possibly?
Yeah, I know it's unknown affiliation, but that seems rad.
Okay.
Her or Hover? So.
Hover the Goliath,
Yeah.
representing the interests of the Coal Coalition.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you could be. Let's see. Or were you hired by like a temp agency, and so you got brought in by both groups?
Okay.
Like, do
Yeah.
you like that idea? So you could be.
Yeah.
Okay. Because Hover and some of these organizations, like some of these people, seem to get along really well. And like they, for instance, like the main arena, they have a schedule for the fights, like the money who it goes to, and sometimes sometimes you're opposing forces, but sometimes you're like you pool the money appropriately and they just work together better. And Pover and Gakken actually don't butt heads all that much because it's the Coal Coalition. Like honestly, it's a legitimate business.
Yeah.
So who would you want to bring this body to?
I'll bring it to Pover.
Okay. Okay, so Pover is he is like 7'2" but slender,
Yeah.
and he always was wearing like a 3-piece suit. He's got his monocle, and he always has his top hat or a boulder hat on. And so like all of them have like a different office. Um, so so you're bringing this body to Pover's office, or
Yeah.
or he calls his an office. It's more like a box seat. So it's like a box area to see the different arenas. Um, so you there are uh, there are very soot covered guards in front that are each holding a mattock. The one to the right is a very stout mountain dwarf with like the goggles still on his face, and then the one to the left is a gnome with like goggles that have a like an extra thing that you can kind of turn, like to like a microscope, but and like, hey, what do you want?
Looking for the big boss man.
What?
I got a dead guy I want to show him.
Does he owe the boss man money?
I don't know. I don't talk to the dead. But I do know that he might have been trying to steal something from us when the big boom went off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Pover. Yes. How may I be? Just let them in. So he's like sitting at his desk that is, you can tell that it's been put on blocks to be even taller than it needs to be, and you can see his chair has been put up even higher, so he's looking down on you even more. Like, he's really tall, but he's making it worse. Yeah.
So I Rafu bows to him and goes, "Big boss man, I got a guy for you. He's dead, but I think he was trying to steal from us."
Steal what?
I don't know, but he was here when the big boom went off, and he was trying to escape. From the boats in the sky, the dogs, you know.
I heard the explosion. There were boats.
Yeah, boats in the sky. And they went east.
Okay. So what? Just trying to. So he takes his top hat off, and you can definitely tell that he's attached something, some kind of hair, to actually have a comb over. So, what do you think he was trying to steal?
He was probably trying to steal the things that we have that are very valuable.
Well, where was he?
He was,
The workshops. That was the workshops area.
he was in the workshops.
Oh, those are privately owned or rented rooms. Did he go after any of the coalition's stock?
Uh, um, him and his big explosion. I didn't like him. He made a big mess, and that messed up the shareholders' stuffs.
Well, thank you. You can uh, thank you for bringing this to our attention. I'll make some notes, and um, uh, thank you, Boo Thank you for your service, and you go back to. I'll look into it.
You think, boss man.
He looks right at Scene, and then Jorvik, and then back at Rafnabu. You have you can buy.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, you bet. I think they would know.
You didn't tell him about him committing suicide.
Like you're doing that as you're walking out of the door, and you hear like scurrying, like he locks the doors. He's like,
Whatever he stole must have.
important.
He just apparently jumped straight to his death.
I believe his hamstrings were injured when I threw some sticks at him.
I don't know. He seemed pretty mobile after that. I don't think
No, he seems pretty dead after he
I'm-
fell, so.
you seem to have had a lot of trouble with the small methods, but I don't. You died. Like
I don't know what a method is, but okay.
both of you and Jorvik. Very squishy
Is
creatures.
the method the name for the smoke I inhaled?
Yes, I would not advise you doing that again.
Do you have something for the inhalation?
making notes.
Are you injured?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, after I use the cantrip Close Wounds, which makes you able to use his own hit dice.
You have to roll your own hit dice, and this actually does not feel good when it happens, but you can use a hit die to heal.
You know, I think I'd really like to do that.
Okay.
Okay, do I add anything with that, or is it the flat D?
Well, when you
roll up hit dice?
The way that, like,
when you roll a hit die, it's just usually you just roll your hit die.
do you add your Constitution modifier? Like when short rest or what? Long rest or long rest, right?
It's just I just have you roll the. Yeah, you should be able to use your add your con modifier to it. That makes the most sense.
Okay.
Adding
Well,
yeah, it's in here. Adding their Constitution modifier to the result.
Yep.
Well, that's lovely thing. That will bring me back to full health.
Woo!
Yeah.
So, under advisement, I would say you don't do that again.
Don't do what?
Breathe in other creatures.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
Neither should
Good.
you, Jorvig. You should never breathe in mephits.
I have no audio from him.
Nope. Blah blah, nope.
Like, he's not sending a signal.
Oh,
No, he's not. Audio.
no audio, but we can see you.
Nope.
Wah!
Nope.
Whoa!
Still no audio.
Oh, no.
There we go.
There we go.
Happy loud noises.
That's loud noises.
Yep. We need that on still.
Are you good?
Yes, recent ethics is very.
Very not fun.
Yeah, no.
So, Jorvig, were you privy to that last conversation with Pover?
I missed right where my service ran home right when he said, did the dead guy owe him money?
Oh,
Oh, so most of the conversation.
so the entire conversation. Okay, so went in. Pover was on a desk that was raised up on blocks, and his chair was to even. He's a tall Goliath, and he's still looking down even more. During that conversation, Ralph Mabu explained that he believes that this Genasi that he's still carrying on his back was trying to steal something. And Pover was like, well, what was he trying to steal? Where were they? And finding out that the workshops are actually owned. Each room is kind of owned by a different entity, not necessarily the coalition itself. And I did list off all the. Did you hear all the names of the 7?
Yeah, they're with the molten hair and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Just want to make sure you had that. So you just kind of stepped out of Pover's office. So yeah, what do you want to do now, Raf Nabu, Jorvig, and Sin? Because you still have this cadaver on your back.
Yeah.
Mm.
Alright, so we told one of the 7 we're good, right? I don't have to tell all the other 7 of them.
Wouldn't.
No, yeah, that'd be a waste of their time.
Yeah. I'd probably just, I mean, we could always just leave him up front with a note.
I know, I can write a note.
Yeah, just, this guy tried to steal stuff from us. We're not sure who he is.
Alright,
Love, Rathnabu, Jorvig, and
Yeah.
Sing.
that's a lot of words. I might use some, like, pictures in there.
Okay. I mean, I think that's fair. I like that idea. So,
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
I just write down the word in big bold letters, thief, and just hand it over to him.
well, that'll work too.
How did you squish all of my thoughts into such a small 6-letter word?
That was all of your thoughts?
No. How did you squeeze all of my thoughts from the previous conversation for about 20 seconds into one 6-letter word on a piece of paper with, is this charcoal or ink?
5 letters.
Well, yeah, but you always add one because of the shareholders. They're the 7, but they're really 8.
That's the
But I've always been privy to calling them the 9.
The 9.
Yeah, they're more intimidating that way.
Okay.
You think there's more.
The
Rather
body.
than like a, ooh, surprise, there's one extra, it'd be like, you think there's an extra, and then there's not.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yes, we will leave. Wait, was it in charcoal or ink?
Charcoal.
What do you,
It's
or
easier
what do you
to
write it?
charcoal. That's how I got the bold letters. Ink is for such fine penmanship that it is not needed in this situation. I do have ink.
No, it's fine.
You don't. Would you like a piece of charcoal?
No,
Would that
if I was
interest
gonna
you?
write something, I would use his blood. There's plenty of it, but charcoal is an excellent substitute.
One could say that. Yes, interesting.
I'm trying to be conservative.
I think that's a little too conservative.
Must find dictionary for the large one.
It's eco-friendly, resourceful.
Yes, yes. Reusing and reallocating certain biological accoutrement would definitely
Yes.
behoove you to save the environment. If the environment was being. Yes, good.
As the drug peddler
Yes.
last Saturday says, reduce, reuse, ikiki.
I've only used with the advertisement of only you can prevent forest fires, but it's a new one.
Man, I was scared to stay off drugs. Drugs make you stupid.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Jorvig, do you feel that you'd be a part of any of the? Were you brought in by any of the 7, or are you kind of like your own entity?
Probably more my own entity. If I was even connected to anybody, it would probably be begrudgingly to the Drugar, um, because
Luna?
of his failings as a fighter.
Okay. Luna is a. She's not the nicest, so that makes sense. So okay, just making sure. So. You've just been in contact with her. Let's just say that.
Okay.
So I'll go. So Luna, she's a Druagar with lavender hair and loose braids and short sideburns, and she's like most Druagar from the Underdark, kind of dresses like simple goth compared to all out like the Drow, like on the verge of being like Cenobite. So just get for that. And her, you've probably only like seen her in passing, and so you know her face and you know her guards, which are just pretty stout looking Drogar. So now you've dropped off this body at the entrance, right, with a note. How you? I'm not gonna ask how you attached the note to them. I actually no. How do you attach the note to them? You're muted.
Can it just lightly lay on their chest?
Okay.
And like in an almost dainty manner.
Roll me a performance. I just want to see how.
Sounds good to me. Okay. 1 second. It's 10.
Yeah, it shifts when you move your hands back, but it seems to be holding pretty good.
Okay.
So you've got this dead guy that's just in the corner with a note on him. The what do you want to do with the rest of your evening? Because there are other guards and things that are going to the broken down areas from the different groups. There'll be more information in the morning on whatnot, just because of like you're kind of like a mercenary, Rafnabu, like a mercenary guard, and your shift is almost over. So.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking, I don't want to go sleep. It was a big night. I won a fight. I died or almost died multiple times by tiny, gassy creatures. And there's a lot going on. I think I could use a rest. It's not my fight.
Yep. Okay. Are you wanting to just go to sleep, or do you want to go get, like, possibly go to Gub Gub's pub and slop trough?
I'd probably go to a tavern, and that
Okay.
that's generally where I sleep.
Okay.
Drink till I sleep.
Okay. Right next door is Gub Gub's pub and slop trough. So.
Well, it's my Gub's my favorite haunt.
Oh, you're gonna see why. You're gonna see why.
No. Understood.
Seeing you. Let's say this is the first time you go into Gub Gub's. If you follow them.
Yeah, but they're very interesting. So I'm.
You're just making notes the entire time.
I'm following and just watching these very interesting fellows.
Okay, cool. So the building next door looks like a barn. A big barn. Going into it, there is, if you could call it, music playing. It's like a bunch of pots and pans hanging, and it's like a wind chime that it's got this goblin that just is going like this. Like there's this crank. He's just going. It looks like this strange apparatus that it's all perfectly timed to be off beat. It's off-putting when you're first there for the first half hour, 45 minutes, maybe the first hour. But if you drink and eat enough, it doesn't bother you then. But going in, there are, in the centers of the tables, there's a trough that just food is dumped in that you can pick out of. And the owner of the establishment is Gub Gub, a type of orc that is very, very rare. He looks very pig-esque. So he has a longer snout. He's not super rotund, but he's always wearing like like his apron. He's always sweaty, like even in the wintertime. And he's got like the thick patches of hair coming off of here that he makes sure to wipe his spatula off on to make sure that everything that he cooks is nice and greasy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But not.
Yeah. Let's see. Rafnabu and Jorvig, is there a table that you guys usually like to go to, or have you actually eaten and drank together before?
What do you think?
Can you repeat that, Jorvik?
I like to think we have.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make sense. Raffinabu kind of floats. He bothers. That's a cruel word. He interacts with a lot of different people.
Okay. All right.
And
Cool.
Jorvik just stays at the table, and it's probably uh, a table that's toward the back corner, but still close enough to the trough that he can go and grab himself a scoop of whatever's there and go back.
Okay. So there's actually a slot in the center of these rectangle or round tables because they don't all match, but there's a trough cut into the center. Like it just. So if you're by the table, you should be able to reach it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, so throughout Gub Gub's pub and trough shop, there's a lot of the patrons kind of just cycled in. It's the busiest you've ever seen it in here. There's a lot of talk of just kind of all the different things that happen in the arena. Goes back and forth to like the actual fights that were going on, but that's not the main thing that they're chatting about. Of course, it's like they're people are like wondering what the big boom was because a lot of people don't know. There's another guard there that actually is like nursing an injury on his shoulder, and he like packs. He's like got it bandaged up, and he was talking about like how he got shot by this guy, and then the guy threw him a potion and ran off. So.
Huh.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
What did that guy?
Can you say that again?
What did that guy look like?
That guy. Well, the guy that shot me, he kind of had whooshy hair, and he was like he had like a sash, and he looked. He came off he came through one of the holes, and he just kind of ran off after he shot me. Of course, I shot at him first, so it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, we fought one of the whooshy frou frou guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that go?
He's dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we left him at the entrance, put a note on his body. Kind of explained the whole situation that happened.
That tracks. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But we fought some smoky little demon devils.
What?
Yeah, they got in my lungs. But he got them out of me, so we're all good.
Okay. Can you repeat that again, Jorvig?
They were methods.
Ah, Mephits.
That's the word. That's the word.
Mephits. I don't know what. All right. Well, all right then. So that's some interesting. He's doing the thing where he's like slowly doing the walk away, trying not to linger with you guys. All right. You guys have a. Hey, I haven't talked to you in whatever.
Okay.
Could I do a perception to hear what other people are saying about the event?
Totally.
Nice. Okay. That's -2.
A -2.
What the?
Okay. All right. So you're about like a third tankard in to like some like this is not the best ale Now the food tastes amazing, but you wonder why. Because the ale and everything, like the quality of the food isn't. It can't be. It's just made with love, I guess. You're just tasting the love from Gub Gub. But you're sitting back and you're in your third tankard and you're totally like watching this group of drow, and as they're talking, and they started off talking actually about your fight. So that kind of what brought your attention to them, and that's not. When stuff pops up on the computer, I'm like, wait, can I exit out of this? Or is it bad? So yeah. So you're just they're describing your fight like in detail, how you went up and you just like left hooked and knocked the guy out, and then you pretty much like decimated him after he was knocked out and knocked him to the ground, and they're like looking your direction, and then they're like and then they kind of look down for a second, they look back up and then down, and they're like, oh, that's him. And that's what kind of gets your attention, because you've got that feeling like, oh yeah, I've got some fans.
Yeah.
So you're
keep doing. They look down and look back up and
Yep. Yep. They're like, oh, okay. And so this, just so you kind of know how this place is kind of set up, you've got your tables, and then being that you're closer to the wall, the pretty much like the seating is like a longer bench that you can just put your bedroll on it and sleep on it if you're by the wall. I don't advise doing that like in the main area because people will stumble or spill food on you. But it's only 2 silver to have your meal and sleep. But if you pay 5, you can have multiple drinks.
5 it is.
And Scene, I'm guessing, is just seated or standing there, kind of like in the shadows by him, like writing your notes on everything.
Yeah, I'd just be in the corner watching.
Okay. This is.
I'd like to ask Go a question.
All right. So there's this big stove that actually seems, as he's cooking on it, is like rocking. And he like goes and he uses a spatula to kind of like, it almost like he's itching the side of the stove sometimes. Yeah. He's like, good job. So you go up and how do you get Gub Gub's attention?
I'm just gonna yell at him.
From where you are, or do you get closer?
No, I'll get like right up and close to him, but then I'll yell at him.
Okay.
I'm very unperceptive, so if I get too close and like yell in his ear, it checks out.
All right, roll a stealth. Let's see how close you get. Like even if you're not trying, like it just like you can do it at disadvantage if you want to, if you're not trying to be. But I just want to kind of see.
Oh yeah, I will do it at disadvantage then. I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, I have a +3 in it, but I shouldn't be good. Oh yeah, that's great. I'm gonna take a 5.
A 5. You startled the bejeebers out of him because he rolled lower than that.
No way.
For perception.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's the Gub Gub?
and as he like turns around, he like slaps himself, and there's a mist of sweat that just kind of like flies up and like goes onto your face, and it tastes super, super salty, but also it tastes like bacon.
I'm just gonna.
And as he turns, the oven's door opens up and screams to ah! And closes back up. And Gub Gub's like starts like he starts to pet the side of it. He's like, oh, what What do you want?
Hubbub, what is the gub gub?
I'm the Gub Gub.
Hubbub, what is the gub gub?
Me Gub Gub. Hub.
Hubbub.
Oh, hubbub, and he grabs the back of your neck and and he points out the window to a brothel.
No, no, no. What are the people spreading as lies and truths?
Uh, Let me just be candid. Gub Gub, like, has an extreme negative to like understanding most of the things
no.
that are said, and you're making it very difficult for him to understand it even more because his common is not awesome.
I'll, I'll speak to him in Orcish.
All right. So the order that you actually speak is the proper way to speak it in Orc.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you actually asking him?
So what's the talk of the town? Are there any rumors about that I should know about?
Well, a matter of fact. Well, what are you kind of wondering about?
Well, I mean, there was the big boom, and I know everyone's probably talking about that. But more importantly, there was some air genocide that came about. They were probably some thieves, probably some bad men, but apparently one shot a guy and then healed him and ran off. But this other guy that we found, we threw some javelins on him, and he just kind of hopped off the edge. Guy forgot to grab the rope on his way up to those airships.
Well, that sounds very unfortunate for him, but just wondering, did he actually fire at you at all?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I can't recall if he actually fired at me, but I do remember fighting some smoke methods. And
Okay.
those buggers were terrible. I almost asphyxiated.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
It was absolutely terrible. I thought I had asthma for a second.
Oh, here, you should smoke this. That'll help with the asthma.
I appreciate it. I'll get right to that. And I light it on his stove.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
So, like, if we were watching this, would we just be hearing a bunch of, like, grunts and, you know?
Okay,
like,
so the interesting thing is you actually are having two different dialects of Orc, but so like Gub Gub's Orc is like, think of actually yes, so like extreme Boston accent, and then you've got Rafnabu, who has like a totally like what do you believe Rafnabu's accent should be like for a reference?
It's like someone reporting the weather.
Okay, perfect. So like the Gub Gub, when he's speaking it, there actually is like a lot of extra snorts and things like that, but it registers to Rafnabu as that Boston accent. But then there's like the if you're hearing another type of Orcish from another dialect, it actually would be like a extremely posh or something like that. You can understand it. You might miss some of the words, but someone onlooking is like, that one is like talking pig, and the other one's talking a language. But the Orcish language is like Old Norse mixed with angry German with throat singing mixed in. That's the way that orcish is. So it's like a very like kind of things like that. So it's like someone's watching and like they're very ongoing about it. Now there's this billowing amount of like greenish smoke coming off of the stove, and the stove's mouth opens up and like breathes some of it in, and you can see that there's like these ports right above the mouth that kind of like squint.
The mimic.
Maybe. I'm smoking that while we're talking.
Oh yeah, I need you to do a con save.
Oh, I got this.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Alright. 18.
18. Yes, you definitely make it. You actually are. It clears your nasal passages. Awesome. You do cough like twice, but you're like, you feel like you're gonna be really good for a while, and then there's some people around that are like coughing and wheezing, and like one guy's like his pupils are totally dilated, and he's like, and it just passes out. Gub Gub seems like he's in a very good mood.
You know, Gub Gub, I don't know why we haven't talked like this. I greatly enjoyed having this kind of camaraderie.
I really wish I could do the Boston accent, but just try to imagine it. Well, do come by. I'll make. Oh, here, and he like brings out a chunk of uncut bacon, and he just like cuts it right in half, and he kind of hands it over to you. He like kind of cheers you with it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Actually, let's see here. I'm trying to think if there should be a roll. No, we rolled pretty good earlier. Do you have anything other questions for him?
Was there anything about the airships that flew overhead that you could distinguish? Perhaps the number of them?
From what I've heard, I believe there was 8. And that was from a guard on... That was from a guard or a patron. And yeah, he was a patron. He's definitely passed out over there.
It's a good way to end the night.
Yeah, not the best way to start a morning though.
Yeah, 8 is actually what I counted as well while I was on the roof.
Oh.
I saw they were headed east. I believe they might have been in pursuit of something.
Well, that would make sense. I haven't really heard if they're... No one really talked about in pursuit of anything that I overheard. A lot of what I heard was like a smash and no grab. It looked like they were running around looking in different rooms and then hopping back on the ship if they didn't find something.
That's terrible. Reminds me of growing up in an orcish tribe.
Like, totally like doing the totally laughing with you, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and his laugh is just straight up like pig snorting.
I thought it was gonna be like
Yeah, and it's like it's snorting, and then he goes. And so he's like, "Excuse me for a second," and he takes this his modified spatula and scrapes the thing off the top of the stove, and goes over into one of the tables and just throws it into one of the troughs. So it looks like chopped up potatoes, miscellaneous meats, and other vegetables that have been chopped. It looks like the actually at Silver Dollar City, those big big cast iron things. It's like the bottom part that's been scraped off the bottom and flipped over. That's all you see. Like the bottom, like cracklings of it, like overdone, over seasoned, but yes, that's what he tossed in there.
Good. Thank you, sir.
You're
Have yourself a wonderful night, and I slide a gold piece over to him.
oh, thank you.
All right, and I'll go back to my table.
Okay.
Yeah. So is Jorvik retired at that point?
I mean, he's on his way to passing out.
Okay. So I sit down at the table and I go, "Fine gentlemen, you'll never believe what
So
I
it's all
just
in orc.
found out."
So you're speaking in orc?
Yeah.
What? What?
What? Like you definitely don't speak orc.
Nope.
So they have no idea what you're saying, but you explain the whole thing.
You'll never believe it. Turns out Gub Gub's the finest of gentlemen. This establishment, absolutely wonderful. Golly. And let me tell you what, this that he gave me here, this magical little me got the hubbub. No, me got the Gub Gub from Hubbub. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that what you're smoking may be the hubbub.
So, no Hubbub's across the street.
That would seem to be a brothel.
Yeah, that's the Hubbub.
Oh, as other lower life forms would say, hubba hubba.
The Hubbub. That was a good joke, Cast Iron Man. That was a good joke.
Cast iron. Insulting, but
No, you're like.
What did Gub Gub say?
Um, 8 airships. Airships? 8 boats, yes. Going the opposite of west.
East, got it.
We knew both of those, so we're on top of it.
So nothing new. Okay.
No. No, nobody's been talking about if the dogs are chasing something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
But
Good.
we know the dogs are chasing something.
Dogs are chasing stuff. Good job, Razzaboo.
it's an incredible talent that you have, Jorvik. I got nothing.
Say that again.
I have absolutely nothing for what he said. I got nothing. So,
Hey,
you incredibly talented fellow you are.
well, I appreciate it. See, I try to be, but you know, it takes practice.
I don't think that's the thing. Languages have always been fairly easy to my kind, but this is not perceivable.
I've just been around him a lot. Basically, nothing new. Nothing that we don't already know.
I have a rat in my hair.
Is that another metaphor or innuendo, or I do not see a creature?
Oh, he was like scratching that. He was like scratching that.
I don't. Jorvik, that's not how he got the scars. Was there wasn't rats in his cranium, were there?
I mean, it could have been at some point.
Interesting.
Yeah. On that note, I'm going to sleep. And he downs the rest of his alcohol and just lays down on the bench.
Cool. Oh, you guys can level up. I didn't tell you to do that last time.
Yay.
So as Sin watches you guys sleep, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm gonna create a little pebble that, and a little note that says touch, and in front of me I'll have just a book of basically what I'm assuming is they probably have like a Popular Mechanics
Yeah.
or just some sort of local Tinkerer's magazine that I
Oh,
may have
there's-
got from the.
There's multiple.
Okay, and if they press it, it'll say, "Please turn the page."
So
Just because I'm sitting there
okay.
staring at the same page.
Okay, so no one comes by to after
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I saw.
yeah. But the page that it's stuck on is a fold out of just a wrench. So you're staring at that.
It's a good wrench.
Yep.
I would like one of those wrenches.
Yep. So y'all should be level 2.
Yes.
I don't think it changes much of anything for me other than my health.
I thought it did something, but I could be mistaken. I could be thinking of another. Oh, where'd you go?
I'm looking it up quick.
Oh, okay.
It's very easy to read.
Yes.
It's like a danger sense, reckless attack, and that was it.
Those are very handy things, though.
Oh, they're two of my favorite things, honestly.
Yes. Now, if someone was multi-classing a barbarian rogue, reckless attack is terrifying.
I've thought of it. Yeah, I was gonna make like a rogue sir.
Okay.
So I get street smart,
Okay.
which is shadow carousing, shadow boxing, and sparring all count as light activities for the purposes of resting for me.
Oh.
Additionally, once you have caroused the settlement for 8 hours or more, you know all public locations of the city as if you were born and raised there, and you cannot be lost by non-magical means while in the city. And I get moxie. Your experience laying the beat down on others has given you a moxie you can channel in the midst of battle. The swagger is represented by a number of moxie points. Your features level determines blah blah. You can spend these points to fuel various moxie features. Start knowing 3 such features: brace up, the old one too, and stick and move. So yeah.
I thought yours had a lot of things that happened at level 2.
That's it. That's what I got. My proficiency doesn't change.
No, not yet.
Pickups doesn't change. That's it.
Okay. I don't think nothing really changes for you.
I get my
Yours.
infusions,
Oh yeah, infusions. Okay.
which now I have to look through all my infusions.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Okay, that's definitely one.
Oh, excuse me. So morning comes and then oh, I forgot. In my notes, it got reordered. and so like I've got a page to go like dedicated to like fantasy food, and it's kind of funny. I'm like I clicked on that one accidentally. I'm like I don't remember that. Um, yeah, but you wake up. There is you're provided a breakfast, which is slightly warmed up slop, what it was the night before. Um, are there any? Is there anything you'd want to look like shops or anything in the area that you'd want to go to, or do you just want to go back to the arena and ascertain anything?
Mm, I think I'd probably go with Frin.
Okay.
I don't think there's much of anything I can.
Okay, so being a mercenary, no mercenary bands.
You know mercenary what?
Bands. Metal bands.
Mercenary bands. Okay.
And I'm wondering if there's anyone that I can maybe talk to, like an associate that might know if the people that attacked were also mercenaries.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's roll a. Let's roll a history to see if you can remember someone.
Okay. 13.
13. It's over 10. So you're sitting there thinking, I could go to the temp agency that I got hired through.
Mm-hmm.
And I could probably ask the other mercenaries there.
Okay.
So it's Olgrith's temp agency.
Okay, I think I got a good idea unless you all have stuff to do.
What's your idea?
I go to my temp agency and I ask if the dogs are a mercenary band. And then who paid the dogs to chase the rabbit, as I'm gonna call it.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I think so.
But while you do that, maybe I'll go see if Luna has any information.
I think that's a great idea.
All right. So, which way are you gonna go, Scene? Because you're splitting the party.
You said you were going to go talk to mercenaries,
That is correct.
and you're going to talk to Luna, the other, Dwargar, right?
Ancient metal-haired
Oh.
wolf lady. Associated with the Crag
Crag
clan.
Crag.
Really?
Okay.
She's also a dwerger, so if I see her,
Would I've seen her
dwarging,
walk by, like,
very
in
confused.
You would have known all.
the... Okay, I'm going to go with Mercenary Boy. That seems
All right.
dangerous and interesting.
All right. So we're gonna start with Rafnabu and Scene as they're walking in the streets. You've got to pass by the shop named Big Bada Boom. It's got a cannon hanging. There's a shop simply called Prosthetics. There's Gnome Tech Industries. There's the Furnace. Throw Downtown. Down Under. The Fray. Artificer's Playground. And then there's a shop right next to Gnome Tech Industries called Gnomes Against Gnome Tech. And then right next to that, there's Goblin Tech Industries. Like they're totally like ripping off the logo. Then there's what is seeing what's your passive perception?
Passive perception. 13.
13. That's enough to see that there's multiple signs around that are at a lower level that say "Fight the Power." Like little handprints are on it, but they're showing arrows to like different alleyways to go. You do see. I'll just say that there's signs to technological advancements, Emporium, bountiful tools of the trade, alchemical wonders of wonderment. Then there's Whiskers Wonders, there's Chudum, there's the Powder Monkey, and there's multiple different tattoo shops and things like that. Yes, I just wanted to list those out so you guys have the names because they're fun names, and I think that it would just be a draw randomly one of them.
I may have a bag of holding now.
That doesn't. You probably already had one.
I don't know how the infusions work, but it says replicate magic item, and one of the choices is bag of holding. So I can make bags of holding somehow.
I'll just say that it's a bag.
I'm reading it, and it doesn't give you much stuff.
Yeah. I'll just say that you have the bag of holding, but it only works for you. You can't be just making it and selling them.
Okay. All right.
Because you somehow made a pocket dimension that works in this bag. You can hand it to one of your party members, but you still have to kind of empower it every morning.
You mean I can't make black hole arrows? And
is it like you open up just a portion of your chest and it's like you can stick your whole arm in there?
If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna RoboCop it and have the little leg pop out and be able to reach into my leg and pull out stuff. So that's where I'm going with that one.
That makes the most sense to me.
I mean, like you're
Yeah, if I can pull out a fully automatic Beretta out of there, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so you walked by all these shops and things like that, and you went to Algrith's temp agency.
Yes.
They're just starting to open up, and it is this crotchety old lady sitting at the desk. Like you instantly walk in there, and the lighting is magically set to be like a fluorescent lighting flickering, to be oppressive. And she's sitting there with like three flies. Welcome.
I probably know her name, but Craftaboo is having some trouble remembering it, and also if she has a nameplate, he doesn't see it.
Okay, it's Ulgrith.
Oh. Okay, good. All right, good. I'm glad Craftaboo remembered.
Yep.
Because that goes through his head. He he does that entire thing like I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Ulrith. The wispy-haired people that were on boats in the sky. Are they mercenary men? Did anybody hire them?
What exactly are you talking about?
Yesterday, the day before today, at the pits, there was the big bada boom. Not the bada boom, but the big bada boom.
Big Bada Boom's down the road there.
No, that is the big bada boom. Yesterday, the day before today, at the pits, there was a big boom, and from the roof of the pits, on ropes, I think, people with wispy hair dropped down and sung some smoke devils methods, smoke devil methods to get in my lungs. I tell you what. And they had guns, and they ate of those boats that were in the air, went east, the opposite of west, and I would like to know if someone hired their mercenary band. Uh-huh.
Do you have anything from them? Any memorabilia? Any sashes? Any insignias? Anything that were on their person?
No.
Okay.
But I have this individual here who is a very good drawer. Right? You can draw.
Yes. 1 second. And
If you guys recall, you had an okay investigation. You didn't have the best, and you kind of specified what you were looking for. So
I'm trying to make pictures of the guy.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I actually can. A static visual effect appears on one of the objects or surfaces that can be a picture, or up to 25 lines of text and shapes, or a mixture of these elements. So
okay, cool.
I would like to make take an action to tap a place on her wall, and it goes and has a picture of him jumping out of frame.
I swear, Orvish.
Okay.
It'd be like,
It's
yeah,
not-
it's just
I
the
mean,
edge of a
you-
building
you-
and
you
him
don't-
jumping.
You are the best drawer I have ever.
I'm gonna assume I gave him a sad face,
Yeah.
because that's the only reason he killed himself.
So she gets up and like she's built like a potato with chopstick legs and with like chopstick arms that are super super long. So it's like Danny DeVito as the penguin, but super long arms and legs.
Oh my gosh.
And she like shuffles over. That looks. That's not a mercenary group. They're not even pirates. That insignia is kind of hard to tell. But that looks like one of the.
I'll change it and then just go, okay, well, this was a rendition, and change it to where he's just dead on the ground.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Does this clear it up for you?
yeah, the
Much-
insignia there, it looks like more of the. There are these. Oh. I'll just be candid. She did not roll the best to know the exact things, but she can describe some things to you. So they are. There's Air Genasi, like, cloud cities. So she can't distinguish which one, but it doesn't. It actually looks like they are from one of them. not pirates or something like that, unless they're like trying to pose as that, if that makes sense. So like if they're trying to if they're trying to do this attack to bring attention to a specific one of them, they didn't necessarily do the best. Um, or if it's yeah, so it's not a pirate, not a mercenary, or something like that. But the symbol on the sash, uh, it kind of looks like a like triple tornadoes. Like that's the kind of the best rendition of the symbol that you see.
Okay.
And can you get this graffiti off my wall? And Ralph Naboo, how has your job been going? I haven't had any complaints other than excessive talking.
Well,
I can see the problem.
She goes over and sits in her desk.
there's two problems. Talk too much, too little talk.
Well, you're still on a temporary basis there, so I'm still garnishing your wages for my payment until they, hire you on full time.
I don't need any parsley with my roses.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
So the metal one is he? Do you want a job too?
You want a job?
I'm fine observing.
All right then. So like the fly starts circling around her again, and she just kind of sits there staring, waiting for someone to possibly come in.
So to be clear as mud, you wanted me to go and keep doing the pigs.
Yes, you haven't been fired or anything. I thought you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're not liking it, we can transfer you somewhere else. Do you want to be in one of the other fighting arenas, or do you want to maybe work at the docks, or there's the docks at the ocean front, or there's the docks in the river. And then there's also the air docks too. If you want to be up higher, like above the smog. Oh, do you want to guard the wall to the jungle's edge? No. Do you want to be? Let's see here. What else do I got? Oh yeah, there's the sewer detail.
No, there's people in there. I'll do the. I'm good with pigs, thank you.
Okay. All right then. You can just keep doing what you're doing then.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Goodbye. Bye. Good.
Yep. So you're heading back now, Jorvik. You go directly to Luna?
Yes.
All right. What are you snickering about?
Just not being able to understand him is the funny part.
It's better than Kevin from It's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay.
I'm just interested in the chaos of the situation, and I'm just in there writing what this. Okay, this isn't going well at all for him.
Yep.
It never does.
Yeah. Luna doesn't get to her box seat like this early in the morning, so you kind of have to wait for her in the waiting room, and it's like there's a difference between a nice dwarven waiting room and then the Duergar waiting room. Like the dwarven waiting room would probably have like warm ciders and things like that. The Duergar one actually has like this weird mushroom tea that's more like a stew that's hard to sip. Let's see, and it's kind of spicy. You have to do a con save, but you know it's there to actually deter meetings because she'd rather not talk to people. When she finally does come in, she had this big brim hat to have to go because she was having to walk out in the sun, but you can't see the sun very well there. It's just kind of like a status thing. Like I'm from the Underdark. Like like I need the darkness. This is who I am. I'm not just the darkness. I am above being a goth because I am a Duergar. Kind of like that weirdness going on. Sadly, we know too much about that, don't we?
Yeah.
And so you're like the first one there, and you still have to wait like over 45 minutes before you're actually let in to her office that has a lot of bottles and things that look a lot like lava lamps just kind of around.
Okay.
It's like constant movement like in your peripherals to make sure, and it's almost kind of off-putting balance wise, kind of almost gives you vertigo, the amount of movement that's going on. And then if you look at it like where she is, gives you that. It's like like the room itself is made to kind of give her an advantage in a fight.
Okay. Would I even notice it because my perception is 5?
Actually, it would probably be messing with you even worse.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Let's see. But your con is pretty good though. It'd be kind of a toss up because it's just like it's messing with your. We'll see. We'll actually make a roll and actually kind of see. So she's sitting at her desk with her. She did her makeup with a straight black line or like across her eye, like almost like a blindfold, just to kind of make it like even more off-putting with her almost white irises. So, why are you bothering me this early?
Well, there's a lot of activity that happened around here last night. Well, we found ourselves fighting some smoke methods and chasing an air genasi through the pits. Sadly, the poor guy didn't make his jump when he tried to jump to the rope to go to the ship and fell to his death. And I was just trying to figure what's going on.
Oh, well, there's damage to the facility. Our organization would rather not have to pay for it, but we're probably going to have to. So we're going to be doing a investigation on why it happened. Now, the main damage, or at least the secondary damage, was mainly in one of the private quarters in the workshops. So I'll be looking into who owned that one and tracking everything down to hopefully get as much payment out of them.
Understood. Didn't seem like they were looking for it, or they were looking for something, but they didn't take anything. Did you happen to see or know of anything that might have happened or been taken?
I'll just go back to the private workshop. Is the only one that was really, and it was only one. Other ones they kicked doors in, breaking some locks, but that's on the workshop renter to take care of. Luckily, we don't have to take care of that. That's on them. But like I said, I believe it was 5 locations in our arena roof were broken into.
Okay.
So we'll be having to
Do you know
fix that.
which private workshop that was?
Let me see. I do know, but why are you wanting to are you wanting to step into more of a role with what we do, or do you still want to just fight?
I think I could be convinced. Something about that whole situation last night seemed very off. And chasing that fella down, seeing what was going on with it, I don't know, it's kind of stuck in my head now. So I kind of feel like I need to look into it.
Okay. Let's. You'll have a probationary um, case. Let's call it a case. You can be a temporary detective for us to figure out what's going on. And looking at our records, they actually didn't put down a name, they just put down a number.
Well, what number is that?
1324.
Got it. Now, bear in mind, I'll still.
Can you repeat that?
That's what I do. That bear in mind, I'll still fight. That's what I do. So if you have fights, I'll definitely show up.
Oh, I'm definitely counting on it. But if you're possibly deeper in our pocket, this might be more lucrative.
I like lucrative.
I was hoping so.
I'm in.
So just let us know if you need
I've got a
something.
couple that's been. I've got a couple that's been helping with this process. Rathnabu and there's this Robin. Dean, I believe is his name. He's been with me. Is that going to be an issue?
Scene actually left his workshop? Wow.
He left.
So, yes, definitely keep me informed on Scene. And, yeah, Rothenboo's definitely no issue. Him being with you is probably going to be the best. Probably the best.
Okay. When you say lucrative, how lucrative are we talking?
More gold.
More gold?
Well, we'll just kind of see how things go. Like I said, you're like a probationary period. I'm not going to really be handing out a whole bunch of hints. I want to see how good you are at figuring this out. I will have other groups looking into it in their own way. But we'll just kind of start from here. How's that?
Sounds great. I'll let you know when we come up with something.
Okay.
and without any friends, but he just gets up and leaves.
Okay. So,
I go to find.
if you could roll a history for me, Jorvig.
12.
12. That's good. You, you grew up knowing of the Craighold clan. They're like the let's see, with your 12. Hey, 12. What is? How do you word that? 12. So it's like we could put it as you've got like the CIA and FBI, like those organizations are like the Target. These guys are the Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
They're not like just for. I'll just put it as like not necessarily like quality, but they're not as flashy. Because they're 12, you probably didn't really know all the stuff that they do. Um, but you know that they do like enforcing. Um, they're definitely brought in to handle situations that most people don't want to, kind of stuff. So yeah, just want to make sure that you know that.
Understood.
Okay. So you, Rothenbu and Scene have their long walk back, where Scene doesn't seem to be talking to Rothenbu, but Rothenbu could be talking to Scene, and notes like that. But Jorvig, where do you head in the arena?
Um, I think I'll head toward the pit training area. Go blow off some steam, shadow box, and maybe hit the heavy bag, stuff like that.
Okay. Um,
While I wait for them.
okay, cool. Um, do you still have those things you picked up from that? What are they called?
The spike cestus.
Yep. You still have those? Are you just kind of have those hidden on you, or because you don't have anything else other than your fists, right?
Yeah, those are kind of put away.
Okay. Because you do notice some of the uh, some of Gakin's, the known as like the tooth fairy. Some of her guys going around. There are lizard folk among her guys, as well as some trollkin. So like a um, like a watered down troll in essence. Uh, Going around their training as well, but they're always keeping their eye moving around, and you know all too well that the room you went into, that was theirs, because they do the fights that do the most damage to each other because they have in essence a healing factor.
Okay.
And if there are any other hand-to-hand weapons that you're kind of wanting, you do know you could possibly go to different shops. One of them is known as the Fray. Um, you've got Throw Downtown, the Fray, like I said. Um, yep, those would be the main ones. At least for
And
your.
they're in the arena.
Nope, they're outside of the arena. Those are like regular shops. The Fray is actually a fighting club that has like kind of like a, for lack of a better term, like fighting paraphernalia gift shop. So like you can join this fighting club and pretty much beat the tar out of each other to like blow off steam. Um, but sometimes they're the fray members can be hired out to do different things, like pretty much like bouncers and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think after I do a little shadow boxing, I'll head over to Knockdown Town,
Okay.
see what they have in stock.
Throwdown Town.
Throwdown Town.
Yep. Throwdown Town. You've got you've got brass knuckles. There's horseshoe knuckles, which are like horseshoes that have a handle built into them. They're a little bit better against fey creatures, specifically. There are some. They're called bug smashers. It looks kind of like a kind of like a boxing mitt that's the part of a centipede. They have some pretty spendy, like special brass knuckles that have like crystals on the ends of them. Then they've got some of these things called crash and burn. They're pretty spendy as well, but it like covers your entire hand. It's got like a mini furnace in it. They've got volt gauntlets that do some extra lightning damage. They've got frost cuffs, so it's pretty much the spiked cestus that you have, but they're ice shards as the spikes. Then they have these claws that look like let's see here. They look like like crab claws you can put on your hand and be thrown down like that. They've got claws that you kind of strap over your hand that you can get a climbing speed and do some extra damage that way. They've got some interesting. They've got ram knuckles, so they've got little rams as on brass knuckles. What I'll do is I can actually share this one. Let me share it. Oh, I have to do it via text, and the pictures don't. Okay.
Well, how much are the crash and burn and the horseshoe?
Okay, the horseshoe ones. The horseshoe ones are only 5 gold.
Okay.
What they do is it's +1 force versus fey.
Okay.
They just deal an additional 1 force damage. And then the crash and burn. That's about 550.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to leave.
No, okay.
That's I don't need the fake stuff right now, and that's a bit expensive for your big at the moment.
Okay. So that was Throwdown Town. And then so I'll say that you guys do meet up. You can kind of compare notes and things like that, which is limited on what you guys kind of figured out. So let's actually meet up next time, starting where this conversation of you kind of like comparing notes or whatever. That'll be our next session. How's that?
Okay.
Sounds great.
Cool. All right. So we'll meet up next time, where as you guys are talking on what you guys found out.
Heck yeah.
Bye bye.